Oh. Welcome to the panel. We're gonna be animating a sloth emote today for the Discord server. Ain't that fun? Oh, hi, Sugar Foxes. Thank you for coming. Oh, and hi, Shasta. Yeah, Animate time. We're still using Macromedia Flash, but we'll make the files available and stuff, and they can be opened in any version of Animate that we like. Alright, let's get started. How's the audio's all that and good? We got a new mic today, kind of for this honor, so that's great. Alright, let's get started. Alright, as you can see, I did a little bit of pre-work. I have an initial sketch that I'm starting with, although I did have an idea kind of this morning as I was setting up. So far we just had a very minor reaction. I was like, this is probably going to be kind of small, because it's going to be on the Discord. So how can we punch this up? Well, I was thinking we start with this frame, and then we cut in. That's right. Commands are slightly different between Animate and Flash. And I use Animate in my day job. So I thought it might be cute to have a little cut in for one side of these. And we'll also have some little sparkles animating for it. I think everyone in the chat pretty much, or not the chat, there was a poll on the server if we wanted to have like a cheering emote or like a wow, surprised. So I hope you all like getting a surprise emote. Let's see. We'll have some little shimmery sparkles. Let's get the same color going there. I'd actually like it to start on. Start by giving bit of a change of reaction. Definitely like mouth bigger on the close-up. Don't know if that's an O shape enough for me. Not sure if anyone watching or in the chat uses Flash, but let me know if you do and I'll make some Flash specific notes. If not, I can keep it pretty general for animation. Now, I just want to bump up this little frame to be a little bit more tight and extreme. Bump up this hand and actually maybe squish the face a little bit to kind of exaggerate a little bit more the expression. I have some of this kind of built out already for color, but we can adjust it as we see fit. Yeah, I guess it's more like a wow face. That's kind of what I was thinking more between the two. I think like the vote was literally like between this and this. And everyone picked this one. But my interpretation was always going to be kind of like wow, because I feel like that's when I'm on Discord and stuff, I'm always using like a cheering emote or like a wow, that's so cool emote. So, wow. I think it's pretty cute. What do you guys think? Should we move on to the next phase now that we have our little sketch? Yeah, wow. That's what I like using the most. So I'm trying to gravitate towards what I think I would use. I'm also gonna displace the volume a little bit for comedy. Wow. I think it's cute. Alright, well, let's see. We got our sketch. I'd always say when animating, you don't have to... Here's the thing. All my tips, you don't have to follow them, but I find they work for me, so they're what I recommend. I recommend having a sketch to start with, so you kind of have a roadmap of what you want to do keyframe-wise. You don't have to, like... I would say wait to do any in-between animation. So like the frames in between your extreme reactions. I would wait to do those after you know what your keyframes are going to be. These are what our keyframes are going to be. These you can see up at the top here. These two guys. These two little black dots. Those are our keyframes. Keyframe 1. Keyframe 2. In fact, in Flash you can actually label what they are. So this is reaction. I'll just label this one start. Thanks, Tamron. Yeah, my brain initially went with Pikachu face. Yeah, that would also be good. Sorry, I actually really like it. I was like, oh, I should, like, literally, like, 10 minutes before this, I was like, I should have it cut in, because that would be cute. I'm very glad I went with my instincts. Alright, and I did actually kind of build out a little bit of a start. I'm going to lock my sketch layer. For the uninitiated to Flash, if you don't lock your layer, you can still touch it, you can still erase it, or draw on it, all those good things. So lock your layers if you're using Animate, it's helpful. Now, I actually added an outline and I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to go with the outline, but it is separate from the fill. I'm turning on my outline mode here to see the sketch underneath. Yeah, locking your layers is such a good idea. Just in general, I tend to not do it as much in Photoshop when I use it because I know that I can't touch them as easily unless I change the settings. But Flash is definitely one of those programs where you need to lock it down. All right, this is an old keyframe. I'm going to paste those sparkles back in place. I'll move them off to the side. I haven't quite got... Those are going to be animated, by the way. The little sparkles are going to be... they're just going to, like, do a little pulse of, like, getting bigger and smaller. And the eyes are going to shimmer, especially on the close-up. I might make the eyes actually a little bit... maybe smaller from the start. Let's see. Nah, we'll see. Maybe I'll just make them bigger on the close-up. Alright, well, and you know, I should probably go ahead and put my sparkles on a separate layer, because it makes me nervous having everything on one layer. Well, I mean, okay, not nervous. If I have things that are animating differently, I don't like to have them on the same layer unless they're in some sort of, like, comp symbol. Alright, so we have our nice layers here. Going to... Ooh, you know what I didn't do? And I'll do that now for you guys. I know not everyone uses Flash, but if you are using Flash, symbols are your friend. I put everything in groups just because I was like, meh, I'll deal with that later. Sloth. Comp. I will set that to play once. I might have like a very tiny, if we have time, I'll add a very tiny reaction before it cuts in. Like a very like anticipation frame of animation for that. Alright. I'm gonna add the size change here, but I think I'm gonna put the kind of like squashy stretch that I added inside the symbol. Ooh, look at that, there's a little gap in that little line. That is okay though, because we left everything in groups. Normally I would say use symbols and not groups, but I kind of meant this to be a very simple, it's not going to be too tweeny. But how about, let's see. I already have like the arm in a little group. I'm going to go ahead and put the arm and this outline. Let's see, put that in a little arm. I guess it's screen left, so I'm gonna say it's left. Left. Let's see. Quickly collect my drawing layer and put it arm right. Importantly, I have not made a new keyframe inside the symbol yet, so anything I put in here will be as the eye, have all the parts of the face, little groups. Oop. No, come on, select it all. Yep, nope, select. Okay, let's see, does that work? Good. Oh, we missed some things when we were selecting. This is why symbols superior to groups. Alright, I'm gonna move that back down below the hands. There we go. Well, let's see, I'm gonna have it play once. This is a graphic symbol, which means that when I click into it, this is a separate little timeline here at the top. And I have the reaction happening on frame 15. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this this is also the reaction frame. I'm gonna add notes to help myself remember. And for this frame, this is gonna be the frame that I do the little squash that we have. As you can see in that sketch, it's a little bit more squashed. We're kind of like displacing that volume. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab everything. I guess a note, by the way, if you use Animate instead of Macromedia Flash like I am here, some of the controls can be a little bit different. There's some like kind of quality of life things that are different. Like in Animate, it'll add a keyframe if you change something on a frame. Macromedia doesn't do that. Macromedia is very old, but you can sometimes find it for free on the internet. Not strictly legal. There we have a little squish, which isn't gonna look too tweeny because it's gonna be between the cuts. This is playing correct frame. There we go. Squish. Alright. That. I think the eye shimmer is probably gonna be the big thing that I want to get done first. The other thing I want to do is the shimmer, so I'll work on that next. Here inside our little head symbol, which didn't really catch everything, but that's fine. we're making something simple. It doesn't have to be the cleanest, doesn't need to be the cleanest file in the world. It's funny, when I talk about file organization with people, I consider it to be kind of important, but a lot of people are like, meh. And, you know, it can be nice for yourself to have something clean and nice, but if no one else is touching it, you know, do what you want. Okay, so we have our eyes. I'm gonna keep them on the same layer. I'm gonna make these into, let's see. Oh, nice. I did leave those separate. I'm going to call this one IL. These ones can loop. That would be fine. Because we're going to add the little shimmer here. Adding a shimmer to eyes isn't hard. It can be a little finicky because you don't want it to be too much, but I mean, it's pretty easy. So if you've ever wanted to give like a little bit of life to your drawings, doing something like this can be pretty easy. I'm going to keep the highlights on a separate layer. I'm going to go ahead and name those so I don't forget. Wait, no, highlight. It can help when you have a lot of layers and symbols to kind of keep things labeled so you can always be oriented in what you're doing. You can just look at your top here and say, oh, that's where I am. That's where I am right now. So let's see, for this guy, I don't want this shimmer to be too fast, I think. I'll get an idea for the overall timing as we go. Let's see, I could probably just frame by frame this. Another cool thing, I think most animation programs probably have this, but at least specifically Flash has an onion skin tool. And let me tell you, in my early days on Newgrounds, didn't even know that existed. I think I was just learning how to do Flash through like tutorials and stuff. So this is the onion skin tool right here. Let's see, it brings up onion skin outlines. You can also do onion skin with, you can see this little ghosty. It's very faint, obviously, but it'll show you kind of like the ghost of the previous frame. You can set it to be future frames as well. So here I can see what the next frame looks like on my timeline up here. I prefer outline view because it's a little bit, it's also kind of a little faint here, but you can see it adds a little ghost of what you did. And with animation, that helps a lot. It helps me know what the previous frame looks like, what the next frame looks like, and that'll kind of dictate what the motion looks like. So right now I have looks like this. I can add one more frame of shimmer maybe. Oh, you know, I think I just copied. I'm probably just going to copy the animation that I do over to the other eye, probably. Let's see, I want to see. I can extend how far this onion skin shows me. Just by dragging it like that. Ooh, I want a bigger brush so I don't have to press so hard. Oh, and zoom face. Yeah, okay. Yeah, KG Wolf. Much zoom. In Animate, you can actually set your brush to be to zoom, like scale with your zoom. Older versions of Flash do not have that, like this one. So this one's actually my brush stays like will appear to get smaller. So if you're working with something that you need your lines to stay kind of consistent weight, that's something to watch out for in older versions of Flash, but I don't know that that's going to come up for most people. Alright, so we had 15 frames. Is that going to be enough? Thinking. One's at 5, this one's at 10. Just trying to think of a nice even timing for this. There we go. That's our little shimmer. Gonna go ahead and see about copying. Can I not copy this layer? Is that something I can only do in later versions? Maybe. I will go ahead and copy these frames anyway. Copy frames. And as you can see, this symbol is playing on our main timeline because it's a nested animation. It's looping. There you go. Loop, loop. Actually kind of like that boomerang look of it. Looks a little smoother. Maybe I'll add an extra frame there. We'll do that. We'll come back to that. For this other eye, once again, it's the same general setup. Do 15 frames. Did it actually work? Ooh, it put it in the right spot. Huzzah! On a newer version of Flash, I actually have a lot more like commands to use and stuff, so I can paste stuff in place, I can copy whole layers. Luckily, when I copied these frames over, it kept them relatively in the same spot, so. Yeah, look at that cutie. Oh man. Thanks, Katie Wolf. Yeah, I like it. It's cute. Let's see. I'm gonna add that middle frame here. Actually, let's see. How would I divide this by 4 in a way that works nice? There's some maths involved sometimes in figuring out the timing. Let's see, how does that look? Oh, shoot, that's right. You know what I'm just gonna do? Just so I don't get things too mixed up. I actually want to keep... This is a common thing to do as well. I'm going to duplicate this eye. Paste it. And actually just... yeah, straight up duplicate it. This is something that is totally fine to do with pupils, because normally you want to have similar animation. You're not usually going to have pupils with different animation. Delete the old one. Yeah, I'm just going to straight up reuse it so that they're the same. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to be very finicky for just a moment. I want to make this guy a little bit bigger, just so it doesn't pop quite as much. Popping is kind of what you would say when is something like that moves a little bit more than you would like to. Or like kind of looks jarring between the frames. Okay. So that's our eye animation. Let's see, should we have the mouth get bigger in the close-up or in the wide frame? It'd probably read more in the wide frame better. Don't have to change it though, I guess. Again, the fact that it squishes like this won't be obvious. The main thing, because it starts here, goes here, starts here, goes here. I think I would like the eyes to actually be maybe still for that first frame, because I think that would be cuter. Let's do this as single frame. Oh yeah, let's move the arms up too. I think that was something else I did in my initial little sketch. Reaction. And I'm using outline. There's like a little outline box you can click so that I can see through my frames. I want to grab the arms, which I already symbolized. Let's see, did that... Oop! Let's see, I missed the thing. Oh well. We're doing it live, guys. Parts of these did not get into the symbol. I'm not sure why. I thought they're all in the same group. Kind of the idea being like maybe that the hands are squishing the face. Oh, that one worked. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna do the shimmer animation next, and then if we have time, I'll add a little bit of anticipation on that starting frame so we kind of have a little bit of motion of like, and then, wow. These could almost be separate emotes, but whatever. Okay, so the sparkles are only gonna come in the, let's see, the second on that reaction frame. I'm just gonna keep them on the main timeline. No animation in these little guys yet. Kind of just do some little dudes. Some little shimmery doodads. I feel like it's a little hard to see them. Okay, there we go. Just like roughly orient these to be up and down. Alright, I don't know that we need the sketch on for that. What do you think? Is this enough sparkles? Probably enough sparkles. And once again, making this a little symbol, sparkle 1 I will call it. So we'll probably have more sparkles. Again, we're keeping these all graphic symbols because we want them to have their own little timeline, we want them to play, and also because these are going to be saved as GIFs, and movie clip symbols do not save, publish into GIFs. It'd be great if we still had a lot of like Swift stuff, but we do not, alas. I'm going to keep the animation for these contained in a symbol just so that it's a little easier to move them around the stage if I don't like the position of them. Kind of like, think about, it's kind of like having its own little layer, but it's having its own little, has its own little space to hang out. I'm going to Shift Alt, and have it grow. We can do real simple, or we can have like, and with just like a few frames to it, we can just have it 2 frames. I'm gonna turn on that outline view again to see where I had the other one. Alright, Shift Alt for these ones. It's kind of this easy, yeah. Let's see, I think my overall timeline is 30 frames per second. Not 30 frames per second. 30 frames at 24 frames per second. The output frame rate isn't gonna super affect anything in this case, but knowing that I want my overall animation to be 30 frames and that the reactions are 15 frames means that if I want it to loop nicely, I'll probably keep it a number that kind of fits in between here. Let's see if this looks janky against the eye shimmer. Yeah, a little poppy. Let's add... I guess we could make this a 15 frame. Oop. That's right, I would actually like... Let's see, that's where we're going. I'm gonna have it... shrink there a little bit. Have it growing and shrinking in size. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, okay. A little pulse. Giving it a little pulse. Probably gonna only really animate, see, I've done the animation for this one, so I'm actually just gonna go ahead and alt drag that to make another one, and I will start it on a different frame. Importantly, I would like to keep it on a different frame than the other one, so this is frame 8. I'm gonna have it loop starting at frame 8. Oh, that's the same size. Alright. There we go. Oh, hey, Holly. Welcome, Bear Hybrid. Welcome. Double checking something. How fast did I have? What was the frame rate on these eyes? Oh, these were every 3 frames, kind of. Okay, okay. I'd like to keep that similar. I guess you could say this is on 3s. We're doing a different drawing every 3 frames? That doesn't look quite right, though. We'll test it out. It's okay. Get some little sparkles. Let's animate one of these little ones. Alright, that is not a symbol. That is just a group. Sparkle small. Or, no, we'll just call it 2. Sparkle 2. It'll just be the smaller one. Adding a blank keyframe. Turn my onion skin back on. Let's do a little smaller. Smaller than before. Smaller than before. Although you can really tell I used a different brush size when I did this. Oh, and before I forget, saving. Macromedia does not have an autosave. Animate has an autosave. I highly recommend using it. little smaller. Ooh, that's right. Into the center. I feel like 2 frames is kind of all we need for this guy, maybe. 2 frames per. I guess 3 if we're doing everything on 3s. Click back into this guy. Put that on frame 4. I guess it's on 4s then. Boop. Boop. Oh no, I just noticed there's a little doohickey. See, if I had this animation not in the way I have it set up, I could just only edit the drawing once, but I put the, because I just changed the shape of, or edited it, added animation frames directly on the drawing for this drawing layer, it makes it so that if I have to change anything, I have to change it on all frames. Look at this cutie. You know, I'm just gonna make these different sparkles. Why not? Make it feel a little bit more hand-drawn-y. Ungroup. This is a blank frame. Onion scan to see what I did before. I'm gonna make this one slightly bigger. Oop, that's a really big brush. Again, we've zoomed out, so it's a little too big for our needs. In older versions of Flash, great idea to know what size or what zoom you're in with what brush. Let's see, how does that look? A little off-centered, but maybe we can just rotate that one to be closer. I believe in us. It's trying to snap. Trying to snap badly. Oh, there we go. That lines up a little bit better. Yeah, sparkles are like nice and easy usually. You can kind of just do real simple. Okay, they're not sparkles, but I do have a little... Let's see if I can switch it in here. Alright. I think like having 2 of these animated is probably good enough. I'm gonna copy this one up to where that other one was. And this one I will have loop on frame. I think frame... Yeah, frame 4 is where the new drawing is. So I'm gonna have it just start there. Double check how we're doing for time. So we might be able to add more stuff on the sparkles. Always consider how much time you want to spend on something when you're animating. It's kind of like your economy, like your prioritize based on time. So far, this is what this looks like. Looks pretty cute so far. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be lad or lass. I'm just like, is Sloth. Gonna squish this a little bit more. Give it a little, so it's got a shimmery eye and a little shimmer in the background. I'm a sloth. A sloth needs no gender. I think the CozyCon mascot is supposed to be male, but that's not necessarily what this sloth is. Sloth is just chilling. This is just Sloth. Still not super in love with this. Almost needs another frame here. Let's move this so that it pops big. Then goes down a touch. And then we have enough room for another little. Sorry for the silence. I'm considering sparkles. That basically the change you have between your frames is going to affect how the motion appears. So the more change there is between frames, the more motion you're implying. Oh yeah, I like that way more. Yeah, that's good. That's the stuff. So I guess to break down what I did here, I had it get big, snap big, and this is kind of the overshoot. It doesn't grow a lot. It kind of, so the timing is, it feels like it slows down in its growth. Then it's gonna grow smaller, smaller. So it'll be a nice little pulse. Let's see. I'm going to, oh yeah, handy also. Animate has guide layers, so I actually have my initial. Here's the, when I was pitching these ideas to Tamarin, this was the initial sketch I did for the sloth. But holding the face actually felt way more appropriate given what I did for the art gallery this year, which, by the way, definitely go to the art gallery tour. It's going to be awesome. There's a new sloth painting up that I did, which I'm very proud of. And it kind of tied us into this guy. Alright, I put my ref on a guide layer, and I'm also going to put my sketch on a guide layer so that they don't show in final publishing or tests. And here's the test. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's great. This is the kind of thing that made me want to get into like animation, especially doing like icons and stuff, because it's just, it's so cute. It's so fun. Alright, I think, let's see, how are we doing for time? We got 15 minutes, so I'm gonna see if I can really quickly add a little something for the mouth in our 15 minutes. Because we got the eye shimmer down. I'm going to add something a little different for this guy. So this is the starting animation. I haven't really separated this out nicely into layers. If this was like a proper build or something for animation, you'd have your head, your hands, all this would be on different layers and stuff. I am being pretty simple, I would say a little lazy, just a little bit. I'm gonna put the mouth though on a different layer. Oh right, the head is actually in its own little thing. Gotcha. Let's have the eyes be, we're in our little head comp here. That's gonna be single frame. Are you single frame? No, you're loop. Single. no movement for you. And then it can loop back. Oh. Uh-oh. I'm gonna save because it's being kind of weird. It's being a little slow and laggy, which is often a... Whenever this program gets a little bit laggy, I'm always like, it's gonna crash. That's okay. If it crashes, you'll just see my desktop. It'll be fine. Oh. My Cintiq stopped working. Alright guys, we're gonna do the rest of this with a mouse. Not the end of the world. Oh, are these... This one's on the wrong layer, that's why. You go hang out on that layer. I was selecting the wrong keyframe. This is why keeping things on separate layers and always knowing which layer you're on, helpful. Paste in place. Alright. Now we are maybe ready. Single frame. There we go. Okay. Ooh, we did it. Did we? Oh, are you on like play once? Why is that bizarre? I'm not sure why that changes. There. Oh, see, it's starting on a different frame now. There we go. That's why it was playing differently. So with graphic symbols, you can always select which frame inside the symbol you're playing, so good to be aware of. Let's see. Mouth. I got this nose, mouth, all this bit. I'm just gonna pull that out, put it on its own layer. Importantly, I want that one to still be the one that plays later. Oh man, yeah, my Cintiq just... my pen stopped reading. That's so bizarre. I'll do a restart between panels. Let's see. 10 minutes-ish. Okay. I want to have a little anticipation. We're doing things on kind of threes. Or fours? Fours, right. I want to have the mouth start a little bit bigger. Alright, also, a cool thing with animating in Flash is this little white dot is kind of like, think about it like as an anchor point. I can transform from that point. It's similar to Photoshop. I'm actually going to save myself a little bit of hassle and make this a symbol, just so I don't muck anything up, because I'm using a mouse, so now my process has changed a little bit. Okay. This can just single frame. This is the mouth I want to use for there. The fourth frame, I would like it to shrink. I want it to start a little bit bigger so that it reads on that far out a little bit better. So that peg, this little peg, if I put it here and I shift out, it would grow from that point. So I'm gonna put it there. Ooh. Sorry for my what feels a little bit like awkwardness trying to drag now without the stylus. Oh, we'll get there. Welcome back, Tamarin. One sec. Actually, maybe what we'll do is we'll go in here and make a different reaction. Because I think having the nose grow is a little bit weird, but having this little mouth guy. Dragging with a mouse is awkward. You can still animate with a mouse. Don't let that stop you. It's just, oof. when you're not used to it. I'm going to have the mouth do a little and ungroup this. Get this chin start in closer and animate out to here. Move the nose up one, stretch this down a little bit. Since we're only at about 8 minutes out, does anyone have any questions about animation or Animate that they want to ask before I'm done? I think for this one I'll have him start actually on frame 2, on frame 4, go into maybe that frame would be good closer to the cut in. We want it to have enough time to read, but enough that it kind of looks like it precedes the action. There are a few seconds left. I wonder how it would look if I actually made the mouth smaller on that other keyframe. I'm kind of just using the motion in here. I'm not having it play out perfectly in time. I'm just referencing the movements in the head animation. Yep, stylus still does not work. Okay, good. We tested it. Still no worky. I'm gonna have it get a little smaller. Ooh, I believe in us. We can. That's skewing. I think the little mouth kind of looks cute for that close-up. It's already going to be pretty different just based on how the how we're squishing it anyway. Let's see, I want frame 3. It's very slight, but let's see if it reads. Okay, let's test out our animation. Ooh, it's playing once. Give me a sec. 1 second. Play once. Don't want this to play. Yeah, okay. So that would go there. Oh, this is play once. We want it to play at frame 15. Play once, frame 1. Here's our little reaction. If it wasn't a cut in. Oh, thanks, Tamarind. Yeah, yeah, might refine the timing slightly. But I think overall, that's pretty much it. Let's see, frame 8 maybe? 7, 8. See, how does that read? I kind of want that to lead into it. So I want it to read just a second before, like, ooh, ooh. It's kind of how I think about the timing in my head. What about the 10th frame. Like a second later. Doesn't have to be perfect for the rest of the frame rate. I might play around with that before we upload it, but otherwise that's pretty much it. And we got about 4 minutes left, so we did it, guys. We did it. We animated a sloth emote. I hope you all enjoy it, and I hope you're able to use it on the server. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to just... Oh, yep, nope. I keep trying to use the stylus and it doesn't work. I was just going to do tiny bits of cleanup while I sit. And, yeah, if you have any questions about Flash, let me know. I'm just going to clean this up slightly. Did you know, I didn't realize you could really do this kind of editing of shapes in Flash until like a year or so ago? Crazy. Just didn't even realize it. How bonkers is that? This program still kind of surprises me every now and then. I knew you could edit stuff like this. Ooh. Very finicky with mouse. Gotta be very precise with these movements. Oh! Thank you, RestreamBot. But yeah, I hope you guys like this emote. I hope you guys liked watching the animation. I hope you feel inspired to animate. You do not have to have any skill to try animation. It's definitely one of those things you can just jump right into. You can start very small. If I had to give a tip for what to start with, I'd say do stuff with like eye acting. It's always kind of one of those easy things that makes it feel like full of life. And it's pretty great. Yeah, there's actually not a ton that's changed. I mean, there's a lot of differences between Animate and Macromedia, like the newer versions of Flash, but like I'd say Animate has a lot more quality of life stuff, especially if you're doing a lot more serious animation. But for doing simple stuff like this is kind of like all you need. It's pretty nice. Alright, I think we're down to 1 minute, so I'm going to gracefully exit the stream. If anyone wants to do gesture drawing, I'm doing another panel at 5 p.m. for that. Same place. And we'll be doing gesture drawing, so that'll be great. Please come participate. You do not need to have any talent. Talent is not as good as practice, let me just say. Alright, thank you so much, guys. Take care, enjoy the rest of the con if I don't see you later. Bye!